We had some friends, we were living in Whangarei, and we had some friends who, when we were leaving Whangarei, we were going to head off to Europe. And we had some friends who says, first, why don't you come and stay in Russell? And we've got a house bus and under the trees on Long Beach, over the hill in Russell, looking out over the islands. Come and live there. And so he was a builder and wanted me to help him with building a pole house. And that was 1974. So it was the second pole house being built in New Zealand. And they were very different and innovative then. And it was planned that where the hills swept down to the ocean, that the poles were all over the hill and the house sat in different levels on the hill. So it was a pretty ambitious project. I'd never built before, apart from as a kid on the farm, hammering things together, but it was really exciting. His wife and Val started a business, and a fashion business, and there was a little shop along the beach, and that's where that started. Then his wife had to return to England, and so I came in to help Val with the selling of the pottery and spinning and weaving and jewellery and handmade toys and weaving and all hand-blown glass and all of those things that we were selling in the shop. But then Val's clothing just sold out within a matter of days, and she was working till 11:30 at night. And so I started helping her with cutting out and then with grading patterns, just using my knowledge of woodwork plans, and you could do that then. It was New Zealand was a protected market. There was no imports, and so anybody that did anything different and innovative were sort of chased by the customers who wanted individuality and different things. So it just grew from there. And then it was really a customer-led business. We'd do things and then we'd get really busy, so we'd ask somebody to help us and we'd have to train them, and then we'd ask somebody else to help us, and then somebody would ask us to do something else. The New Zealand Hairdresser Association asked us to actually make, I think it was 15 extravagant garments for the New Zealand Hairdressing Championships. And in those days, the New Zealand Hairdressing Championships ended with a fantasy hair section. So they wanted some really outrageous clothes. So we made them. And then afterwards, we brought them to Auckland and offered them to people. And that's how we first started selling in Hullabaloo, which was a sort of one of New Zealand's first fashion boutiques, really, commercial ones. And we sold for 2 years through there. And then later we started going into the fashion fair ourselves and selling ourselves, then opening our own retail outlets in Russell, and it just grew from there. It was really exciting because people loved what we did. We weren't influenced by other design. We were away, we were independent, so we really designed from the fabric and from the inspiration around us of the sea and the bush and the hills and that, and also the casual, relaxed lifestyle, and the European people and people from all around the world who travelled through Russell. So there were a lot of influences, but we had a unique sort of fashion signature that sort of people responded to. So we ended up selling to 45 shops through the country, exporting into Australia and into New Caledonia, and then the woman who bought the garments from us in New Caledonia was then travelling to France and reselling them in France. So we were selling high fashion garments to France in the early 1980s and through the mid 1980s. So we always believed that there was a demand for New Zealand fashion. We didn't feel that it was something that was sort of second rate. We used to be really impressed by the number of tourists who would sort of come and they would all of a sudden buy 4 or 5 garments for us and enthuse about them. And they came from Germany or France or Italy or North America or somewhere. And they were sort of, it really gave us confidence that what we were doing was good quality and that it was innovative and, commercially viable. So it grew and grew and grew.